What's good, y'all? It's Brittany Chanel. You already know. So we're gonna talk about what is going on with this Tekashi 69 situation. So here's the news, y'all. Supposedly, the feds warned Tekashi 69 that his life was threatened, and then they indicted him. So before he was indicted, y'all, the prosecutor said fellow members of the gang were upset he fired them and then dissed them on the radio. So I am on a site called thedailybeast.com, and it says here, 2 days before rapper Tekashi 69 was indicted on the gang-related racketeering and firearms charges, federal agents, they visited him to warn him that his life was in danger. So basically, y'all, I don't know why these young people don't understand this, that it's not a bright idea to publicly announce on social media or to the world that you are in a gang. But luckily for Tekashi, he did, because that probably saved his life, because, the feds was watching, okay? So literally, they told him that several of his associates who had just been fired and dissed by him on a radio show were overheard on a wiretap saying that they wanted to super violate him. And that's what the investigators had disclosed. The agents brought the 22-year-old to Homeland Security's New York headquarters and explained the situation and offered to put him up in a hotel, but Tekashi 69 declined the offer and returned home, where authorities kept him under 24-hour surveillance. And he probably ain't want to look like he was working with the, you know how young people, they don't work with the police, or they ain't messing with the feds and all that other stuff they say. So he probably was like, nah, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to look like whatever. But, all the while, the gang members, and I don't know why, when you join a gang, y'all know that the only way out to them is in a body bag to them, because then it's like, they probably gonna be worried about you snitching or all other type of stuff that they be worried about. People know what the code of the street is. They know. If you from the hood, you know. If you ain't from the hood, you can watch enough movies to know how that story ends with that, when you play with that gang activity. And I don't know why these people, this happened with Bobby Smurda and that whole GS9, where when you hang in a group of people and you rep, a certain place, honey, they know where you be at. They know you rep this block. They know who your best friend is. They know all of this. Because people get on social media telling it, they do the, Tekashi and all his trolling, honey, he just was telling it to the world, honey, and they swooped in on him. So that ended Monday when Tekashi, and y'all know his real name is Daniel Hernandez, was arrested and brought to federal court in Manhattan for an arraignment on 6 counts that could put him away for decades. So according to the indictment, y'all, the Brooklyn-born artist is a member of the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, a gang that allegedly peddled fentanyl and other narcotics and engaged in brazen acts of violence. And this is what is coming from the Manhattan U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman, and that's what they said in a statement, okay? And it also says court papers allege that Tekashi was no mere figurehead, because a lot, people was like, oh, Tekashi is just a rapper. He wasn't involved in none of that. They claim in April of 2018, he allegedly took part in a gunpoint robbery of 9 Trey rivals in Midtown Manhattan, videotaping the heist from a nearby car. See, this is the dumb stuff right here. People is always showboating and trying to film and videotape and do all of this stuff, and they don't realize that. Why would you upload this to the internet or anything like that, or videotape you committing a crime, as if these people are not watching you? You know what I mean? Like, this is why I don't really consider these people today real gangsters, because the real gangsters, they're not out here getting caught. They're not out here showboating. They're low profile. You don't even know who they are. You don't know who their friend family is. Don't know who they hanging with, where they eat at, nothing. You don't know nothing about them because they ain't on social media. I can tell you that. Now, And you know, it's crazy. People go putting these Alexas and all this other stuff in their house and then be trying to do all this street activity, honey. You putting yourself on a list to get yourself jammed up, and it's not going to be a good look. Now, anyway, it says, according to prosecutors, he even took the stolen backpack to his apartment. Oh, my God. The poor little thing. He done took the stolen book bag to his apartment where the investigators found it. The victim's ID still inside. During a search earlier this fall, also, there was an AR-15 pistol that was recovered. So that same month, y'all, Tekashi, they say, was photographed at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn with an associate, Fubanga Lovic, who is accused of firing shots at gang rivals. So 3 months later, y'all, hold on, they giving the whole play-by-play. I will put the link to this article. Prosecutors say that Tekashi and his crew agreed to shoot someone who had disrespected the gang. The result was an innocent bystander being wounded at a barbecue in Brooklyn, they allege. So, I mean, this just, I don't understand why a person would continue to be involved in this dumb stuff and they're making money at this point. And get your whole life jammed up. I just seen an attorney say that, you know, they seen Tekashi and he appears to be visibly shaken up, which is probably becoming real for him, that this is a real situation. You know, all that trolling aside, he had got off those first couple of times, but I don't think they're playing with him this time. It says here, whatever solidarity existed among the reputed 9 Trey members, however, apparently evaporated when Tekashi abruptly announced he was axing his manager, Shottie, y'all know Kafano Jordan and other members of his team, and canceling his planned tour. So he canceled the tour. You know, he disassociated himself from the members and he dissed them on the radio, they say. And the feds is like, listening to these, you know, they talking all over the phones. You know, I don't know what did it. Nothing has changed, honey. They wiretapped their phones, and lo and behold, they talking about they was gonna hurt Tekashi. So Tekashi's mother was in the courtroom, honey, fighting back tears, they say, and she was closely guarded by agents at his Monday arraignment, protecting her from retaliation by relatives of his 5 co-defendants. But not only that, you know, his baby mama now and the child is going to have protection now, because Tekashi at this point in time, honey, is a wanted man probably by them folks, honey. He is wanted. I don't know why he got himself involved in this. If you was going to do the music, you should have just did the music. You know, some people have their little conspiracy theories where they think that Tekashi and the team he was working with, they was uncontrollable. And so this is, you know, an example is being made out of Tekashi. Who knows? But it says, in addition to Lovic and Jordan, it says the indictment charged Fahim Crippy Walter, who was previously charged with gang assault after a confrontation at Tekashi's celebration that left him wounded, Jamel Mel Murder Jones, and Jinsel Ish Butler. So Tekashi, a chunk of his rainbow-colored hair pulled away from his heavily tattooed face, appeared to be shaken as he sat in court. Let me read that back. It says a chunk of his rainbow hair pulled away from his heavily tattooed face appeared shaken as he sat in court, his hands cuffed and his eyes closed at points. He answered the judge's question in a soft, polite voice that sounded nothing like his aggressive stage rapping. I bet you he don't sound aggressive right now, because it's all fun and games, honey, until it ain't. And people be lit till they get lit up, honey. I'm telling you. And so they got him on Instagram, and, you know, the judge probably, you know, these the youth putting these dumb pictures and stuff and saying they every thought on this internet, like this internet is their friend and it's really a tool to watch. They don't understand that. So 6ix9ine is on his Instagram, you know, posting guns and toting guns and all that. The judge, you don't think the judge looked at all of this And he on the caption of this picture, and then I inserted it in this video, actually. It says, I made $1 million this year, and I bought a fake Rolex with it. Ha ha, swag, swag for the culture. His attorney, who had previously denied that his client is in a gang, I don't know how he did that when the dude yelled out Treyway on everything. Everything was Treyway on everything. That's what he would be yelling out. Noted that the prosecutors had offered no evidence showing him shooting a gun or committing an act of violence himself. So that, that could be a good point. His attorney is saying they don't have any evidence showing that he, is shooting a gun or committing an act of violence himself, because he was taken down amongst, I think they say 4 or 5 other people. So he offered up to put $1.1 million in cash for bail, but the judge ordered him held until the next court date. If he's convicted of all the charges, he would face a mandatory minimum of sentence, y'all. Here go the mandatory minimum sentence of 32 years, y'all. 32 years. He would face a mandatory minimum sentence of 32 years if he is convicted of all these charges, y'all. And that's a long time. He's only 22. So he'll be a grandfather by the time he would get out that jail to do anything. Now, it also says, before the racketeering arrest, Tekashi was already put on probation. Somebody asked me in my comment section of one of my other videos, and I could have sworn I explained it in the video, but I'm explaining it again here. He was already on probation, and he was pleading guilty to state charges of making a 13-year-old or making a video, and it had a 13-year-old in the video in like a sort of sexual performance. And they were saying that on the court documents or on the notes from court, they were saying that she was performing a sex act on one person, and Tekashi was behind her making thrusting motions as if she was being what they call in the street champion. Okay, so the rapper admitted in detail to the sex crime, but escaped jail time as a youthful offender with a requirement that he stay out of trouble. But law enforcement has entered his orbit several times since then. So let's break it down why they have been in his world since then. So the police say he left his sentencing in that case with a carload of known gang members, y'all. So he left the sentencing of that case with a car full of gang members, honey. And on November 8th, gunfire interrupted his filming of the video in Beverly Hills in which Kanye West and Nicki Minaj were set to take a part of. Remember, we talked about that on the channel. He had ended up giving his room to Nicki as a dressing room. Nicki, however, was not there yet. Kanye was on the set somewhere, but somebody had shot, through the window of that particular room at that mansion. They claim it was like a drive-by type of situation. I don't know how you could do what drive-by is going on in Beverly Hills. I don't know. But everywhere Tekashi go, honey, it's always drama. Now, last week, Tekashi appeared in Brooklyn criminal court on a charge of disorderly conduct related to a incident in May when an officer allegedly was injured after stopping him for driving with a suspended license. How was Tekashi driving with a suspended license? Lord, help us, please. He was fined $120 for that. So, once again, he in the video on his Instagram with another weapon up here. And then it says, in his 2015 plea agreement, he was to demonstrate that the crime he committed was the result of a serious mistake he made in his youth, one that was not indicative of the law-abiding life he intended to lead as an adult, according to a memorandum written last month by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Honey, I know they tired of seeing Daniel Hernandez's name come across their desk. Since defendant's plea of guilty on October 20th of 2015, he has not only become a successful recording artist, but is now a self-admitted member of a violent gang, the 9 Trey Bloods. The memo states, noting that such affiliation is patently inconsistent with his acceptance of responsibility and rehabilitation. So they saying, listen, we gave you this offer and, you know, you did become a recording artist. However, now we have learned that you are now an official member of a gang, and that is not what we told you to go and do. So they also said he has been arrested multiple times for crimes he's committed this year and exacerbated his own violent conduct by using his public platform and significant following to provoke and promote incidents of gun violence, according to the memo. So once again, you know, they're making note of that public platform. So the youth, if you're watching this, please be mindful. Don't be a Bobby Smurda. Don't be a Tekashi69. Do not be an AR app. Do not be these people that just, they talk on this public platform stuff. They doing interviews. They doing all this stuff. And they're publicly professing that they're gang members or affiliated with gang members and all of that. Like, you don't know nothing. You ain't, my dad used to always tell me, honey, you don't know nothing. You didn't see nothing and you don't hear nothing. I don't know that person. And do not get yourself clicked up with these people, honey. Don't let people try to click you up with people on this internet or nothing else, honey. Because the feds is watching. So, it also says here, a July 28th video posted to his Instagram account shows Tekashi69 getting into a car in Miami, picking up what appears to be an automatic weapon and saying, Treyway. You know, what he has always yelled out since, you know, I remember his first initial songs. He was yelling out Treyway and all the other stuff. So, y'all, this is interesting. I would love to know y'all's thoughts down below about this whole Tekashi69 incident, honey. You know, the judges and them is looking at his Instagram and platform saying you're using your social media to promote this gun mess and all this other stuff that you're doing, and it's not constructive. And this type of takedown, you know, it's funny that he now has racketeering charges and is trying to be I think they're trying to charge him with weapon charges, and then they looking on your Instagram. Excuse me, y'all, because I'm getting tongue twisted or whatever, thinking about this stupidity. You're on your Instagram with guns in the pictures. Several of them. And they're automatic weapons. Like, what compelled you? Y'all, I'm telling you. Like I said, real gangsters, honey, they ain't up on the internet flaunting. They ain't got 100 tattoos on it and bringing attention to themselves and saying what block they from and all kind of stuff and who they mans is and, you know, all this other stuff that these rappers be doing. You know, Bobby Smurda whole situation too. He's sitting there telling on himself in the songs. And even if you ain't doing gang activity, if you ain't trapping, if you ain't doing gang activity or none of that stuff, honey, do not look like you're doing it. Because that's just as dangerous as doing it, because you don't want that type of attention on you. Because once you get locked down, honey, you official at that point. And I'm not official in a good way. The people who know, they know what I'm talking about. You officially a captive at that point, honey, and you don't want that life, because Tekashi69, they say he was looking like he was not about that prison life when he was shaken up while he was talking to the judge in court. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you like videos like this, please thumbs up the video. Definitely make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, I don't think I'm editing out these bloopers because, hey, this is just me. But if you like videos like this, y'all, hit the notification bell, go in post options, and hit all notifications so that you don't miss not a moment of Brittany Chanel and her antics in the videos that are coming up on my channel. It's Brittany Chanel, and mwah, my loves. I will see y'all tomorrow. Because just because, you know, holiday season is coming up, honey, that don't mean we can't be on live to discuss this, honey. I will see y'all soon. God bless.